Contact gave us the most intelligent alien contact film since Close Encounters, and quietly picked a fight with the President of the United States. But did you know the movie's ending was originally completely different, with aliens openly landing on Earth? Or that the novel's real ending was cut because of a math problem? 15 facts, starting with the ending.
Make me a liar, fish.
15. The alternate ending. Aliens were supposed to land on Earth. The ambiguous faith versus proof ending you know almost never existed. When Robert Zemeckis was first approached to direct in 1993, the script ended in the opposite way. The aliens reveal themselves openly to all of humanity, appearing in Earth's atmosphere and staging a dazzling light show in the mold of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was spectacle, certainty, and closure, everything the finished film refuses. Zemeckis declined the job largely because of that scene. Only when Warner Brothers came back after his Forrest Gump Oscar and offered him complete artistic control did he agree, and used that control to gut the obvious ending. He understood what his predecessors hadn't. Showing the aliens would demolish the film's entire theme. If everyone sees definitive proof, there is no faith left to wrestle with, no ambiguity for the audience to sit inside. So Zemeckis threw away the alien landing and kept only Ellie's unprovable private encounter. The whole film pivots on an ending he refused to shoot. 14. The novel's real ending, the message hidden in Pi, was cut. There's a second lost ending, and it's the one Sagan actually wrote. In the original novel, the aliens drop a tantalizing hint. They tell Ellie to look deep inside the number pi. In the book's remarkable final scene, she runs a computer to calculate pi to a staggering length and discovers, buried in its infinite digits, a string of ones and zeros that isn't random at all, arranged in a pattern that draws a perfect circle. The implication is staggering. A message from the universe's creator encoded into mathematics itself since the beginning of time. It was Sagan's synthesis of science and faith, proof of a designer written in the language of numbers. The film cut it entirely, reportedly because the filmmakers feared mainstream audiences wouldn't even know what pi was. So the movie's most profound idea, the climax of the novel that inspired it, exists only on the page. Millions who love Contact have never met its true ending. 13. The film picked a fight with President Clinton. Contact did something audacious. It edited real footage of a sitting U.S. president into its story without permission. Robert Zemeckis took genuine news footage of Bill Clinton from an August 1996 press conference, where Clinton was actually discussing a rock believed to have come from Mars, and repurposed it so the president appeared to be commenting on Contact's alien signal. Lines like his remark that the discovery will surely be one of the most stunning insights into our universe made the final cut verbatim. The White House was not amused. Press Secretary Mike McCurry lodged a formal complaint, arguing that while parody is protected, there's a real difference when the president's own image is digitally manipulated to say something he never said about something that never happened. Approval was never even sought. It's a striking echo of the based on a true story legal battles this channel has covered. Except here, the real person was the commander-in-chief. 12. NASA and CNN both publicly regretted the film. Clinton wasn't the only real-world institution Contact upset. NASA objected to a scene in which Ellie is handed a cyanide pill before her journey. A suicide capsule in case the mission goes catastrophically wrong. The film's own NASA advisor, former flight director Gerald Griffin, insisted the agency would never do such a thing. Curiously, Sagan reportedly maintained the detail was true, claiming astronauts really had been issued such pills, a claim NASA firmly denied. CNN had its own regrets. The network let numerous on-air personalities appear as themselves reporting on the film's events, lending it documentary realism. Then publicly wished it hadn't. worried the cameos made CNN look like a promotional arm of Time Warner, the parent company of both CNN and Warner Brothers. So a thoughtful science fiction film managed to draw official annoyance from the White House, the space agency, and a major news network, all for being a little too convincingly real. 11. Carl Sagan died before it was finished, and never saw it. The most poignant fact about Contact is that its guiding spirit never watched it. Carl Sagan, the astronomer, author, and science communicator who conceived the story with Anne Druyan as a film treatment back in 1980 before turning it into a novel, was gravely ill during production. Though weak, he remained deeply involved, even organizing a special conference on the history of astronomy for the cast and crew to immerse them in real science. He died in December 1996, several months before the film's July 1997 release. Contact is dedicated to him. The film ends for Carl. It's a heartbreaking irony, a story about a scientist yearning for cosmic connection made by a man who spent his life expanding humanity's sense of the cosmos, who didn't live to see his own vision reach the screen. Every frame of the film's grounded, loving realism is Sagan's legacy, delivered to a world he'd just left. 10. Sagan insisted the science be real, down to the wormhole Contact is arguably the most scientifically rigorous alien film ever made. And that's entirely by design. Sagan wanted the physics to be genuine. So when the plot needed a way to send Ellie across the galaxy faster than light, he didn't hand-wave it. He personally consulted the eminent physicist Kip Thorne, asking for a scientifically defensible method of interstellar travel. Thorne's work on traversable wormholes became the film's transport mechanism, real theoretical physics, not technobabble. The commitment ran through everything: Ellie's CD methods, the radio telescopes, the way a signal would actually be detected and decoded, all grounded in real practice, filmed at real facilities like the Very Large Array and the Arecibo Observatory. It's the same principle this channel admires in the best genre work: respect the audience's intelligence. Sagan believed the true universe was more wondrous than any invention, so he built his fiction on fact. Even the wormhole has a peer-reviewed pedigree. 9. The opening shot is one of cinema's great journeys. Contact begins with a sequence so ambitious it's studied in film schools. The camera pulls back from Earth, and as it recedes, the radio and television broadcasts we hear grow older. Modern signals giving way to older ones, back through decades of human noise, until we reach the crackle of early radio and then pure silence, having traveled out past the reach of any human transmission. In roughly 3 minutes, the shot conveys the entire scale of the galaxy and the terrifying, beautiful loneliness of our tiny broadcasting planet. It's a pure distillation of Sagan's worldview. The pale blue dot made cinematic, a reminder of how small and how young our voice is against the cosmos. The sequence was a massive visual effects undertaking for 1997, seamlessly combining space imagery to create one continuous retreat from home. Before a single line of dialogue, Contact tells you exactly what it's about: the vastness and our fragile place inside it. Quick signal check. If this deep dive is earning it, hit like and subscribe, because we decode a classic every week. Now, back to the VLA, starting with the ending that frustrated audiences on purpose. 8. The ending was designed to frustrate you. Contact commits a bold act. It deliberately denies its audience the payoff every blockbuster promises. Ellie travels through the wormhole, meets an alien wearing the form of her dead father, and has the most profound experience imaginable. Then returns to find that, from the outside, her pod simply dropped straight through the machine. She has no proof. She, the lifelong skeptic who demanded evidence for everything, must now ask the world to believe her testimony on faith. Many viewers left unsatisfied, and that reaction is the entire point. The film forces the scientist, and the audience, into the exact position of the religious believer she once dismissed, certain of a truth she cannot prove. It's a masterstroke of thematic construction disguised as an anticlimax. But there's one quiet gut punch in the coda. Officials privately confirm her camera recorded 18 hours of static. She was gone. The film knows the truth. It just won't let her, or you, prove it. 7. Jodie Foster based Ellie on real women scientists. Ellie Arroway is one of science fiction's great characters, partly because Jodie Foster refused to play her as a symbol. Foster prepared meticulously, consulting real astronomers and drawing on the actual experiences of women in science. Particularly SETI researcher Jill Tarter, a real-life pioneer whose career hunting for extraterrestrial signals directly inspired the character. The result is a scientist who feels genuine, brilliant, and fiercely driven, but also flawed, impatient, and forced again and again to swallow her pride as men shove their interests ahead of her rightful credit. That authenticity gives the film its spine. Ellie's struggle isn't just science versus faith. It's a talented woman fighting to be heard in institutions that keep sidelining her, watching a smoother male colleague claim opportunities she earned. Sagan built that theme in deliberately, and Foster embodied it without vanity. Decades later, real scientists still cite Ellie Arroway as one of the most accurate portrayals of a working researcher Hollywood has produced. 6. Matthew McConaughey's role is a franchise in-joke. Now, Matthew McConaughey plays Palmer Joss, the religious philosopher who becomes Ellie's intellectual sparring partner and love interest. A role invented largely for the film, since in Sagan's novel Joss is a preacher, and there's no romance between them. The addition let the movie stage its science versus faith debate as an intimate relationship, giving the abstract argument a human heartbeat and letting the film end on a note of connection rather than pure ambiguity. There's a pop culture epilogue Contact fans love. McConaughey's earnest performance was later affectionately mocked in a Family Guy sketch, becoming a running joke. And then, in a twist of cosmic symmetry, McConaughey went on to lead Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's 2014 epic that is in many ways Contact's spiritual successor. A scientist, a wormhole, a dead parent emotional core, and real physics from a consultant. The actor who debated the cosmos in 1997 ended up piloting through it 17 years later. 5. It was a moderate hit that critics respected and audiences argued over Contact occupies an unusual place. A thoughtful, cerebral film that performed respectably without becoming a phenomenon. Made for around $90 million, it earned roughly $171 million worldwide. A solid success, if not a blockbuster on the scale of that summer's spectacle films. Critics largely embraced it. Roger Ebert called it the smartest film about extraterrestrial contact since Close Encounters, and it won the Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation. But audiences split hard over the ending, and that division has defined its reputation ever since. Some found the science versus faith ambiguity profound. Others felt cheated of the alien spectacle they'd paid for. Time has been kind. Contact is now widely regarded as one of the most intelligent science fiction films of the 1990s, precisely because it refused to pander. It's a recurring pattern in this series. The film that frustrates on first release becomes the one that rewards on every rewatch. Its questions never got easier. 4. The child actress had to match Jodie Foster exactly young Ellie. The ham radio girl reaching across the country before she ever reaches for the stars is played by Gina Malone, and the casting involved unusual precision. The filmmakers needed the child to convincingly become Jodie Foster, so Malone reportedly studied Foster's mannerisms, speech patterns, and physicality to create a seamless bridge between the two performances. The early scenes carry enormous emotional weight. Ellie's bond with her father, his sudden death, the guilt that fuels her lifelong search, and the whole film depends on us believing this girl grows into that woman. It worked so well that Malone's performance is often singled out as one of the film's quiet strengths, and it launched a substantial career. The father-daughter relationship she anchors is the true engine of Contact. Every risk Ellie takes, every galaxy she crosses, traces back to a girl on a radio saying, CQ, this is W9GFO, hoping someone, somewhere, will answer. The Cosmos is just a bigger version of that hope. 3. It was stuck in development for nearly 2 decades. Contact took an astonishingly long road to the screen. Carl Sagan and Andrian first wrote it as a film treatment in 1980. But the project stalled in development hell, cycling through production companies and rewrites so troubled they became legendary. One infamous draft reportedly gave Ellie a son who sneaks aboard the machine and had the aliens arriving in giant hovering spaceships. When the film fell apart, Sagan simply turned the story into his 1985 best-selling novel instead. The novel's success revived the film, which then churned through more directors, Roland Joffé and George Miller both attached and gone, before Zemeckis finally landed it. From first treatment to release was roughly 17 years. It's a familiar theme in this series. Some of the best genre films spend years or decades trapped in limbo, surviving only because someone refused to let the idea die. Contact reached the screen having already lived a full life as a book. 2. Interstellar and Arrival are its children. Contact's true legacy is the subgenre it helped legitimize, the smart, emotional, scientifically grounded first contact drama. Before it, alien films mostly meant invasion and spectacle. Contact insisted the genre could be contemplative, that the most thrilling thing about meeting aliens might be what it reveals about us. Its DNA runs straight through the most acclaimed sci-fi of the following decades. The line to Interstellar is direct, and not only because they share Matthew McConaughey. Both build on real physics from a consultant, both center a parent-child relationship, both use a wormhole as an emotional as much as scientific device. And Arrival, in 2016, is Contact's clearest spiritual air. A linguist rather than an astronomer. A woman scientist making humanity's first contact. Grief and wonder braided into first contact procedure. When modern science fiction wants to be intelligent and moving rather than loud, it reaches, knowingly or not, for the template Contact built. Sagan's fingerprints are on a whole tradition. 1. The film that argued science and faith could share a sky step back, and Contact's real achievement is its refusal to take a side in the oldest argument there is. Made by one of history's most famous scientific skeptics, it treats religious faith not as foolishness, but as a genuine human need, and treats science not as cold, but as its own form of wonder. Ellie the skeptic ends the film having had a religious experience she cannot prove. Palmer the believer ends it defending her right to be believed. The two positions don't defeat each other, they meet. That balance is why the film endures where flashier alien movies fade. Sagan spent his life insisting the real universe was more awesome than any myth. And Contact is his argument made flesh, that the search itself, the reaching out across the dark, is the sacred act, whether you call the thing you're reaching for God or simply the cosmos. Its final image isn't an alien, it's a woman holding a handful of stardust, still listening. Those were 15 facts most fans have never heard about Contact. Which one got you? The alien landing that got cut, or the message hidden in pi? Transmit your answer into the comments. If this earned it, hit like, subscribe, and send it to the friend who still looks up at the night sky a little too long. Until next time, they should have sent a poet.